Hi, and thank you for stopping in again. I know a lot of people love to do projects around their house, but they really don't know where to start. Well, let me just tell you, all you need is a little idea and come up with a plan, and you could create anything. Let me just show you how I did. Take a look at this. Today I'm up inside the top of the tower, and I'm wanting to make a nice beam that goes across the entranceway. So I was getting some measurements, and I'm going to be working with these 2x6s, and what I'm going to need is 4 pieces of wood, and which would be 4 2x6s, and then I did the measurements across, and then I want to do an angle piece. So that's what I'm doing right now. Getting the measurements for my angle piece, and I already went up there and measured, so let's come out 85 inches. We want to do a point so we fit very snug into the cap there. And these 2 boards are way too small for what we need. We need 85 inches, so let me grab these other 2 boards here. And we'll have to use these. Okay, so let's measure out 85 inches at one top corner here. Okay. This is going to be our longest point. So we'll mark that. And I couldn't get my angle iron up in there to, I could get, or my square, whichever you want to call it, up in there to get my measurement. So I made a little measurement with tar paper. So since this is my longest point here, okay, that's where I want to go across. We'll cut it, and then we'll cut the other board, and then when we get up there, we'll put them together, and they'll fit inside a 1x6, which will give me the markings of where I need to lay them, and we'll nail it over top of that and connect it into the other 2x6s that are up there. Okay, let's get this cut. To be at least 5 inches longer, because if it's not, I won't be able to tie in to I won't be able to tie into the framing up there, because you know this is because you call this custom work when you're just kind of putting it all together any which way it fits, but you have to make sure it's the right way. Okay, so let's measure up this here. Now when you're cutting lumber and you only have a few pieces, when you measure and you cut, make sure you always cut a little bit above the line. This way you'll never cut it too short. It would help if I was right-handed. Okay, now we got the bottom piece up there nice and level. Now we're going to cut the 2 angle pieces. And you see how it's open on the bottom? It'll be that way on that other piece. And then we'll router like a 1x6, and we'll put nails in the bottom and the top, same with both of the boards, and it'll look like two big beams going across. I think it looks kind of pretty up there. Well, let's get this done. Okay, now these other boards are going to be cut a little bit smaller because it angles up and downwards. So at my longest point here, we've got 51 inches at the longest tip. So let's mark 51. And then we'll use our little angle piece that we made. This is my little cheat sheet here. And we'll score that. And I made a bottom measurement too. So let's see if that's at 45 1/4. And we'll cut it. Today we're still working on the tower, but what we're doing is we're wrapping one of our last beams that I just put up there yesterday. And then we have to work on, well, I call it the little birdhouse. When you have a side of the roof that hangs over the overhang and then you have to cut it off, I call that the little birdhouse section. So what I'm going to do is put some tongue and groove over that so it blends in with the type of wood that I used inside the castle tower. So I took some measurements, and let me pan the camera up there so you can see what I'm talking about. And I'm using just old broken pieces of wood, and what I'm going to do is make a panel for the side of that birdhouse. Okay, I call this the little birdhouse section. It's going to be exposed to part of the weather out here. And I think it would look pretty if I used the same tongue and groove that I have when I did the cap. And we're going to be wrapping that bottom beam today also, so stick around. Let's see what we can get done today. Okay, now I just got down from inside the tower and I did all my measurements up there. So I'm going to be cutting these 1/2 inch by 6 inch pieces of tongue and groove to fit in that birdhouse area, and then some strap wood to put around the top of it, the top of my rocks, and it will blend in with that birdhouse that I'm building. Strap. Okay, now that I've finished with all the wrapping of the beam, it's time to put some stain on this. And I'm gonna start with a little fine artist brush, and I'm going to stain in all the difficult places where I can't get a sponging stain in there. So I'm gonna outline everything, and then we'll go back over it with a little square sponge. You need to take your time when you're doing this, especially being up so high. I need this little brush to go in and out of these crevices here too. stain will protect it, and it will also look pretty. And we'll fill in these little gaps here around the rocks and around the wood area with some mortar mix, and it'll tie it in very nicely. If you can't reach way back in the corners, I have a little stick that I wrap this tape around with the brush, and I can get down in the corners. Okay, now that was a good 2 coats of polyurethane. That should last quite a long time. Thank you for joining me here in Wendy Gale's Woods. I have a lot more projects coming up for you to see. If you like what you saw today, please hit like and subscribe to my channel. I'm looking forward to you coming back and hanging out with me again. Thank you so much, and have a good night. Bye-bye now.